Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Caden. I am the owner-operator of Boyer Diamond Detailing located in Salem, Illinois. We proudly serve Salem and the surrounding southern Illinois communities with premium automotive detailing, paint polishing and paint correction, and professional ceramic coating installation. Today we're going to be going through and showing the services that go into a deep interior cleaning and detail, and I'm excited to show the transformation in cleanliness and overall visual appeal that can be achieved from a proper interior detail done on this, I believe, 2013 GMC Sierra. So it's well over 10 years old. It hasn't been cleaned in years. Let's see the transformation it can make. Now, as we're looking at some of the before pictures here, I do want to begin by mentioning that this is not the absolute worst or necessarily the hardest type of interior to clean. You know, this truck is an old truck, and as mentioned, it hasn't been cleaned or maintained at really any sort of level in probably over a decade. Now, there is still dust in every crack and crevice, stains in pretty much every seat. The floor mats need really freshened up. And since it is a truck, it kind of has that greasiness work to it. You know what I mean? Where you know the truck has been used to get some stuff done. However, it doesn't have what I would call like the kid messes. There isn't any sticky gunk that needs to be picked out of the carpet or random spit up on the door or crayons melted in the cup holders or anything like that. But it is still in need of a well above average interior detail. You know, every surface needs deep clean. The seats need stain removed and extracted. Pretty much every surface and type of surface needs some serious focus and attention, and each surface is going to need, multi-steps to really detail them and make them look new again. Now, this is a primarily interior focused service. However, I am still going to give the outside of this just a little bit of attention, not trying to do too much to the outside at all. This is definitely not an exterior detail, but on vehicles of this age that are this dirty on the interior, the reality is they're really dirty on the exterior too. Going ahead and giving it a hand wash, pressure washing out the door jambs, having the pressure washer out to clean the mats more efficiently and effectively. All that lead to me just going ahead and saying, okay, let's hand wash the car too. I'll do some other things like clean the exterior windows a little bit. That way when I clean the interior windows, the customer can actually tell and they can have a nice fresh view when they get into the interior. Also just helps keep the shop a little bit cleaner. I don't necessarily want this dried mud, melting off or dripping off onto the shop floor where I'm going to be doing most of my detailing and most of my work. So most of the time on a vehicle of this sort, I'm still going to give the vehicle a hand wash, even though it's a primarily, interior service. I'm just going to start with that just to kind of get warmed up, do the other little things that it needs before we really jump into the service and jump onto the cab of the truck. So to kind of walk you through the services and how I'm going to perform this kind of level of interior detail. After I get the car washed and the door jambs wrenched out, here I am starting to get the mats cleaned up, kind of do multiple different things to them. After that, we're going to go to the interior of the truck, get it kind of dry cleaned. So we're going to vacuum, use air compressor attachments to blow out crevices and loosen up stuff in the carpet. Dust with a soft brush. That way when we start cleaning things, the dust isn't getting in towels and scratching the surface and stuff like that. So we're going to give it a good, just dry clean, vacuum, air compressors, and dusting brush. Then after that, we'll move on to some of the deeper cleaning on the hard rubbers, plastic, and vinyls. On those, you're going to see me apply chemical, agitate with either a brush or a scrub pad, steam clean those surfaces, wipe it down, blow out the cracks and crevices, wipe it down again. That's going to be the process to really get deep into the vinyl pores, deep into the crevices, deep into the vents. You need all those things to get this thing looking like how we're going to get it looking here. After doing all those hard surfaces, I'm going to jump back on the seats. We've already vacuumed them at this point, and now we're going to clean them at a little bit deeper of a level, apply some carpet shampoo, some spot treatments, stuff like that. Then get it agitated with a couple different drill brush attachments, agitate it with the steam cleaner, and then throw on a steam vacuum attachment that after all that stuff is agitated and shook up, I'm going to suck all that dirt out of there. You're going to see the years of dirt that's coming out of this thing. It's going to look like a kind of a chocolate milk type consistency. It's going to be really satisfying to get it all cleaned up. And then finally, after everything's kind of all cleaned up at a base level, I'm going to use a finisher type product on the carpet that really neutralizes the chemicals and brightens it up. Then I'm going to take a protective dressing and an applicator pad and apply that to all the hard surfaces. That's going to give it kind of that natural glow back, give it a little bit of color back, kind of fill in some of the cracks and crevices that have, maybe scratched up or something like that, and give it a nice, all the doors, side of the seats, the dash, it's going to give it a nice kind of smooth finish to kind of finish that part off. And then finally, we're going to clean the windows really good. You're going to see me getting into the window sills with a steam cleaner, really getting this thing cleaned up at a really deep and high level here. Now, if you have a vehicle that's 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe even 5, a little more than 10 years old, and you've never had it professionally detailed, you've never done any sort of cleaning whatsoever on it throughout its lifetime, I promise you, you can be absolutely amazed at what a good professional level interior detail can do for the feel, the look, just the general condition of the car. I mean, we're really flirting with a true kind of reconditioning level service here just by getting it detailed. This truck, if the client's not, this particular client's not looking to sell this, but if they sold this truck after this service, they could certainly get more than what I charged them out of it. They could flip money that easy. With this level of service, it does so much for the look and feel of the vehicle. Now, on that note, I will say this ended up being about a 7 or 8 hour service. This isn't where I just vacuum the car and wipe it down. That takes 2 hours. It's not this level of service. That's not me. That's not what I offer for these vehicles. It's about a 7 or 8 hour service. Like already mentioned, adds not just detail on the car here. We're really looking to really restore the vehicle here back to a like new condition. 7 or 8 hours, this customer was charged $300. In most imaginable cases, this is a $300 to $500 service. Like I said earlier, this truck wasn't worst of the worst. It was dirty. There was no kid messes, no surprises though. You get into those things, you get into a bigger vehicle like a minivan, a 3-row SUV, or a bigger size truck than this. Price might be a little bit on the higher side of that. To get all this done, the day's work, that's going to be the price range we're looking at to provide absolutely tremendous results that will absolutely wow you. You did not know you had that. Not know you had that car under that layer of dirt, basically, is how I would describe it. But just wanted to get that out there. Anyone who's interested, know that's about the price we're going to be looking at for a level of service like this. If you are interested in that, feel free to reach out to me. There's numerous ways to reach out to me. I'll say that at the end. Now that I've gone through price of the service, what goes into it, what it takes, kind of set the scene here. Just going to play some music, let you watch the rest of the service, and I'll come back at the end and kind of tie everything together. And so here I am extracting the last seat here, the driver's side. Obviously this one, sees the most traffic and is the most dirty, and you can just kind of see how much gunk is coming out of the seats, especially on the side here. I mean, it's straight up looks like mud. Now obviously the back seats had a lot of dirt in them too, but this one being the driver's side definitely had the most. There's the end result of the vacuum I was using. So yeah, dirty fabric, dirty seats on these types of details. Another area of the detail that is going to be different and just require a lot more attention naturally on this level of interior service is going to be the headliner, especially on trucks, GM trucks from about this time frame. They unfortunately have a lot of issues with leaking and rusting. You see it on the bottom parts of the doors a lot. That's because water is getting in from the top, floating all the way down the jambs, getting into areas it's not supposed to, and settling there, and that's causing the rust. It's the same sort of thing on the top of the truck. Water can drip in there, kind of create this kind of where the edge of the headliner is real murky and nasty. And that's how this one is. On top of that, on the driver's side, it's also kind of a high contact point, as it seems like the owner was pulling himself up in there by grabbing that side of the headliner. Same thing with both side visors. You can see just the fingerprint smudges of grease from over the years. You got to think about how many times has this owner got in the car on a sunny day, flipped that up and down a few times, all while the hands are dirty, never been cleaned. It's another example of kind of the details that you have to get into on a truck that's this old. And I'm going to give the vehicles what they need. That's what I'm interested in. So that's what I'm going to do to vehicles of this nature. They need all of it. I'm going to give it to them. Now I am getting close to finally wrapping this thing up. I'm kind of on my last walk around of the car now. After the initial cleaning, once all the mats and inserts are cleaned, I'm going to walk around the car again, clean the windows. Now I am going to, like I said, I steam clean every single surface. So I'm steam cleaning the windows on this truck as well, using the steam cleaner to get in between the windowsill when it rolls down. That spot on a car like this is always going to be filthy. Best way to get it is to steam it out, wipe it out with one of those swab brushes, throw the brush away, blow dry it out. Any leftover residue or chemical or dirt, just blow that out, and then it'll be clean. So on my last walk around, I'm doing that. I'm also dressing all the hard surfaces. This dressing is going to add a layer of protection, make dirt not stick to them as easy, make them a little bit smoother and slicker in appearance and feel, and really just kind of tie up the interior here. It's going to be even cars that have already been perfectly clean, that dressing can really tie it up. That's what I'm looking to do with it on this truck here. Also just kind of getting into the weeds here, starting to put the mats back in. Notice that there's some rocks in the crack there that didn't come out with, even though I already rinsed it 2 or 3 times, used the drill brush a couple times, used a pretty strong cleaner. Yeah, you're gonna go back at the end once everything's dry, see a little bit more. Also just kind of vacuuming everything up the final time. These GM fabric seats, for whatever reason, they trap hair, kind of get it woven into that sort of fabric. I don't know how the hair gets that deep in there, but it always does. So on my last walk around, anything that hasn't come up, I'll normally get a pick out. Try to pick out as much of that as possible. Finishing off the windows here, I'm going to apply the steam cleaner. I've got a fogger attachment in there that has a little bit of glass cleaner in it. Come back with a 2-towel method. Also blow out all the dust blow out the dust and the extra water and residue out of the side. Come back with another clean towel. Wipe it up to a streak-free finish there. That's my process on the glass on one of these. And overall, just going to kind of give it a final look on that last walk around as well. Make sure everything's good. Here are the results. Got some before pictures first to remind you what we were looking at, what it looks like now after the service is complete. You can tell on all the cracks and crevices, there was a lot of dirt in this car. Just dirty. Dirt-y is how I would explain it. Stains out of the seats. Seat does not look perfect. There's an area there where I hit 2 or 3, 4 times at the end of the service too. Sometimes just can't get them all, or just a little bit of damage or a little bit of the fabric being worn. Sometimes it's hard to tell. That's a nice before and after there. Huge difference in color and cleanliness there. So much dirt. Sometimes, you know, this level of dirt looks normal to the owner, but then you see it after and you're like, holy cow, that was the case with this one here. So overall, there's really a couple items that really make this detail stand out from a more standard detail. If you've got a car like this detailed before and you haven't been happy with the results, probably two reasons why. One is the use of the steam cleaner. The steam cleaner I use is a very professional machine. It's a very commercial type machine. It really helps get deep into the cracks and crevices and the pores, strips all the oils and greasiness off the surfaces. Now on a more standard interior detail, I'm always going to have my steam cleaner accessible. It just might only be used on like the stickiness of the center console or under the seats or in cracks here and there. On one like this, it was used on every single surface from the vinyl to the carpet to the seats to the windows. It was all done with the steam and chemicals as well, and other brushes as well. Those things in conjunction are what really can take it over the top. That, along with just a good final inspection process, looking over everything multiple times. Doing that kind of as I finish up with the dressing and the windows. I'll spend an hour and a half or so going around this truck one last time, just making sure it's all good. But yeah, that's what goes into the service. That's what makes it stand out. If you're looking to have your interior restored or any other sort of premium automotive detailing work, paint correction or ceramic coatings, I'd love to get you in. Love to give it a shot. My name's Caden Ware, owner-operator Ware Diamond Detailing, located at 1860 North Broadway in Salem, Illinois. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon. Take care.